What's poppin' YouTube? Welcome to my channel, Astro Finesse. It's your boy Lil Finesse Jiggy Hippie, back with another video for y'all. And in this video right here is if your Lilith is in the sign of Cancer or the 4th house. And I'll pause for the cause. If you don't know how to find your Lilith, if you're new to astrology, numerology, if you're a new subscriber, if you don't understand how important it is that you have to learn about yourself through astrology and numerology, if you're just starting off your journey of spiritual knowledge, self-love, self-awareness. If nobody put you on to this knowledge, don't worry, I got you. But there are a couple of videos, I'll put the link in the description. You have to watch them first to become hip to the knowledge and what I'm about to talk about right now. So if you look at your birth chart or your natal chart, it's the same thing. And you realize that your Lilith is in Cancer or the 4th house, this video is for you. So without further ado, let's just get it popping, shall we? Now you already know, before I start, I'm gonna give y'all a list of some celebrities so y'all can visually see what Lilith and Cancer celebrities look like and act like in reality. Then I'm gonna have a list of celebrities that have Lilith in the 4th house. So to start, we got Jennifer Aniston, your boy Jay-Z, Robin Williams, rest in peace, Jimi Hendrix, Naomi Campbell, your boy Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, for real, P. Diddy, Malcolm X, Zoe Saldana, Tia and Tamara Mowry. Alright, now these are the celebrities that have Lilith in the 4th house. We got Johnny Depp, Cameron Diaz, Jessica Alba, Michael Jordan, Mike Tyson, Janet Jackson, Janelle Monáe, Steve Martin, and your boy Busta Rhymes. Alright, so boom, Lilith in Cancer and Lilith in the 4th house. So first of all, we gotta discuss what Lilith means, where it came from, what it represents in your chart. So to talk about Lilith, I gotta take y'all all the way back in the Maybach, to the beginning of life, the beginning of creation, to the story that we all probably know and heard of many times of Adam and Eve. But Lilith is actually a character that I'm about to be talking about ancient mythology, and like I always say in all my Lilith series videos, mythologies are myths. These are stories that have been told many years ago, that they have different renditions of it, different correlations of it. You're not supposed to take the stories as literal sense as it happened, but take the symbolisms from it so you can learn from the story or the myths, the mythology of the story. I hope I'm explaining that right. But you're not supposed to take it literal as what I'm saying happened. Take the symbols from it so you could grasp the knowledge from the story. So anyway, so Lilith, the first wife of Adam, was not Eve, it was actually Lilith. Now when creation happened, Adam was made from the dirt from the ground. Lilith was also made from the dirt from the ground. So they're both equal in all the sense, man and woman, but they're both made from the dirt from the ground. So they're both equal. Now living together in the Garden of Eden, the garden in paradise, everything was good, everything was Gucci. When it came to sex, Adam, being the man, being masculine, always wanted to dominate, always wanted to be first, always wanted to dominate when it comes to sex, always wanted to be on top. And now Lilith, her mindset is, we're both made from dirt, we're both equal in all aspects. Why do I always have to be submissive to you? Why do I always have to be under you? Why do I always have to succumb to your masculinity? I want to also be on top sometimes. I also want to express my sexuality the way I want to express it. I want to be able to be who I want to be without you trying to tamper on my shine, basically. So she did not like to be submissive all the time, especially through sex, because she felt that because they're both made from dirt, they're both very equal. So obviously Adam, being a man, was like, nah, I'm not having that. I want my woman to be submissive, whatever. So because of her not succumbing to Adam's masculinity, because of her not being submissive and feminine as the cliche feminine woman should be kind of thing, she got kicked out of Garden of Eden. She got shunned, she got rejected from the paradise, from the Garden of Eden. And then through the rib of Adam came Eve. So instead of Adam and Lilith being both made from the dirt, being both equal in that sense, now Adam and Eve, being made from the same body, became one, like a yin and yang, masculine and feminine. So they became like one soul, one body part, one flesh kind of thing. So that's where like the perfect balance of masculine and feminine came. That's where Eve is being depicted as a feminine woman and Adam is a man. So now Lilith, at this moment, she got kicked out from the Garden of Eden. She's angry. So now understand that Lilith represents like that anger, that dark repulsive anger. She was furious that she got kicked out. She had so much revenge still in her heart. Some stories say that she went on a killing spree, started killing babies now. She wanted to get revenge on Adam so bad. Some stories say she came back as a serpent, talking to Eve like, Eve, you don't have to listen to Adam. You don't have to listen to nobody. You could do what you want. You don't have to be submissive. Eat from the tree of life. Do what you want. Disobey. Do what you want kind of thing. So like, stories say she came back as a serpent trying to talk to Eve as an Eve. You don't have to be so submissive all the time. You don't have to be so feminine all the time. Do what you want. And then that's where the Adam and Eve stories, came about, and we all know to this day. So Lilith in your birth chart represents like put in your mind the dark energy, the dark repulsive energy, and she was shunned. She was restricted from the Garden of Eden. So she has a lot of pent up anger in her, and she has a lot of restrictions, like a big word for her. She felt abandoned. Abandonment is also a big word. So she had like an abandonment kind of energy towards her. So Lilith in your birth chart is like the shadow side of whatever sign it's in, and pay close attention to what house it's in as well. So the sign is what kind of energy it is, and the house it's in is where it manifests in your life. So having a Lilith in Cancer and a Lilith in the 4th house, so the sign it's in is in Cancer, and if your Lilith is in the 4th house, so it's going to manifest in the 4th house characteristic, which is your family, your home life, childhood, mother life, and all that. So boom, having a Lilith in Cancer. So understand that you're going to be carrying out most or some of the negative traits from the Cancer energy, from the 4th house energy. So what does this mean? The first thing with this placement, with people that have Lilith in Cancer, is that when it comes to childhood, because remember, 4th house represents your past, represents your childhood, represents what you hold dear to your heart, represents your mother. Remember, the moon is ruled by Cancer. Moon is the mother. So people with this placement, a lot of times in your childhood, you have a very prominent, something traumatic happen in your childhood. You might have felt like you were misunderstood when it comes to your family dynamic. You might have felt like the black sheep, and the black sheep actually is like the most wokest person in the family, but you might have just felt that you're not understood at all. You might have felt like a black sheep. Something might have happened to you in your childhood that you just felt abandoned for some reason, or something in your childhood is very prominent that still carries out in your life as you grow older and become an adult. So your childhood could have been very traumatic, I would say, very drastic, very traumatic. Something that is not normal, that happens to a lot of people, might have happened to you in your childhood, and that plays out as you grow older and become an adult. Also, having a Lilith in Cancer, one of the main things with this placement, and remember, you're going to carry out the dark side, the shadow side, the negative traits of the sign. And one of the biggest thing for this placement is you can be really good at emotionally manipulating people, because in the past, in your childhood or in the past, you were emotionally manipulated. So you now, you understand, all right, so because I felt that pain, I know what it's like. A lot of times people with this placement will go into relationships with narcissistic people or people that take advantage of them. So they will feel the pain of being emotionally manipulated. They will see the signs. They will understand, damn, this is what it feels like to be tampered over. This is what it feels like to be emotionally manipulated. This is what it feels like to be taken advantage of, to be taken disadvantage of. Yeah, so because of this, because you, most times in your past, you would have been emotionally manipulated, you can carry out the traits of being really good at getting to people's emotions and controlling them through their emotions. You could be like the damsel in distress, as in you can make yourself the victim in situations just to get people to feel emotion towards you, so you can get them to do something for you. You could make yourself the victim so you could be able to control somebody, because you can really get to their emotions. Remember, Cancer is their emotions. And by the way, this placement, having a black moon in Lilith, having a black moon Lilith in Cancer, Cancer ruled by the moon, all this is going to be really prominent with your emotions, big time with your emotions. With your emotions is going to be big time. So this placement is actually very difficult to have, very difficult to master, very difficult to understand if you're not aware of what you have in your chart, if you're not doing your research and learning about yourself and studying yourself and loving yourself. This would be like a very difficult placement to have in life, because you will find that your emotions will be very, you could have like traumatic outbursts of emotions, or you could be completely drawn off from emotions because of what you went through in your childhood. You could have like a sense of detachment to the max of things, and when like you're trying to do something, you're not able to connect or attach yourself to somebody, you might feel like a very drastic like pull, like that abandonment issue might pop up again. So these people you can have a tendency to be overly motherly. Remember, the mother is Cancer, Cancer is the moon, so you could be overly motherly, overly smothering. That's what I'm trying to find. Overly smothering, because you might have been through in your childhood not having that emotional connection with your mother, or not having a emotional bond with your family like that. So now you want to change that, so you could be, and you could be afraid of abandonment, so you could be prone to being smothering too much in relationships, to be too motherly a little bit, to be too emotionally intense on people, to be too protective emotionally. Because remember, Lilith was abandoned from the Garden of Eden. She was restricted. She was rejected. So that feeling of rejection is going to be deep down inside the sign of Lilith in Cancer. So being overly smothering is definitely something that could happen. And that's because you just feel the need when it comes to emotions. It's like emotions is a very strong point for this placement. So when it comes to emotions, you get triggered easily, especially when it comes to things in the past. Now, a lot of people that have Lilith in Cancer also can have a problem with like hoarding and holding on to things too long, not letting things go, being too much dwelling in the past, or not even wanting to talk about the family issues that happened in the past. Like when it comes to family life, you might have a lot of secrets or a lot of like skeletons in the closet when it comes to like your family life. Like a family life, especially having Lilith in the 4th house, is going to be a very prominent part of your secluded like emotional sense, if that makes sense. So understand that having this placement, it's like your karmic lesson is to learn how to be like independent. So having this placement, you really have to learn and understand that you have to love yourself over everything. Because if you don't master self-love, what will happen is you will find that you're going to try to find love in the wrong places. You will most likely attract people that are not really good with their emotions, and them not being good with their emotion, they could look at you and find a weakness in your emotional sense, and they can take advantage of you. Most definitely will attract narcissists with this placement, because you will attract people that are not good with their emotions. Like Cancer is the Cancer's ruled by emotions, so you attract like the negative, dark, emotional people that are not good with their emotions, and then you will get in relationships with them, and then that will cause that pain, that will cause that abandonment, that will cause that you won't be able to love yourself, because you're going to always want to be the mother, be the father, always want to nurture that person way more than you nurture yourself, if that makes sense. So having this placement, understand how important it is to truly have self-love and to truly nurture yourself first over everything. If you don't, you'll be giving your nurturing energy. And remember, the moon is the most precious nurturing element, because without the moonlight, plants won't grow. So we need the nurturing energy from the moon. So understand how important your nurturing energy is, but also understand how easily it could be triggered. Easily the black moon Lilith can be triggered when it comes to your emotions, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to attachments, when it comes to emotions, basically. So understand that if you're not loving yourself to the fullest, if you're not at one within your own energy, and you're just going out trying to be the best mom, be the best dad you could be, because your childhood wasn't how you wanted to be, so you want to impose yourself on people to really smother them because you just want to give that nurturing love to people. Or if there's always the opposite, or if you're just completely closed off to love, completely closed off, putting your shell up very hard, and completely closed off to anybody entering into your heart, understand that that's your black moon Lilith being triggered, and that's your abandonment issue from, Lilith had her abandonment issues. That's your abandonment issues being triggered back up. That's your family, childhood, your past life issues being triggered back up in your adulthood as well. So all in all, understand that you will be prone to being emotionally manipulative. You'll be prone to being like a damsel in distress, or to be playing victim, to try to get people to be on your side, to try and get people to emotionally invest in you because they feel bad for you, or because like you just have a way of being able to get what you want by triggering people's emotions, by being able to get their emotions and trigger something in them to get them to want to do something for you. You could be prone to being overly burdened, emotionally heavy towards people, to be overly smothering too, because you're afraid of being abandoned, or you're afraid of not having somebody to love, or you could be so focused on trying to be the best parent you could be because your childhood wasn't the best. So you'll be like so adamant on wanting to be a parent, wanting to be the best parent you could be. So all this can be helped if you understand that you have to learn a sense of dependence into yourself first. Love yourself wholeheartedly first. Be careful not to overindulge. A lot of times when it comes to this placement, they can overindulge in food when it comes to like their emotional outbursts, because emotions is a very big thing. Obviously with Cancer, obviously with the 4th house, it's the black moon. Cancer is ruled by the moon, so this is like a very hard placement to have. So I'm gonna say this one more time. All in all, like really work on your self-love, your self-acceptance, and nurture yourself so you know who is capable, who is worthy of your nurturing energy. So you won't be overly doing it when it comes to nurturing others. So that's my video on Lilith in Cancer. Hope y'all enjoyed that. My next video is gonna be on Lilith in Leo. You already know I'm about to go in. If you have subscribed to my channel, appreciate all y'all for real. You already know. If you haven't subscribed yet though, go ahead and handle that one time for your boy. Drink your water, mind your business, and be safe out here. It's your boy Lil Finesse, Jiggy Hippie. I'm gonna see all y'all when I see y'all.